Hey guys, it's Seren. Once again, it's another week and another OddTube episode. So this is basically a sample of, what? This isn't sample of New York? Honestly, New York City, what the fuck is that? Sample of New York 2, Electric Boogaloo. We already got a Slides and Ladders sequel, so we might as well. It's not really a bona fide sample of New York sequel, because it's gonna feature Oswald and Orla instead of just Omar and Orla, but okay, whatever, I don't care. This bitch can do telepathy since when? What the fuck? There are only two people who can do telepathy. Oriel and Oriel. Yes, I am enunciating the L, because they're two different people.
In case you did not receive my telepathic message, OddTube shall start.
Is telepathy just a common power in this world? Is that what we're going with? Telepathy is just such a common power nowadays? I gotta get some Pepsi first, because I don't think I'm gonna be prepared for this. I'm not okay with telepathy just being a common-ass power in this world.
Greetings, ye oddballs. I am Orla, and today the Odd Squad mobile unit is in New York City.
So today we're in New York City, again, because Sample of New York wasn't enough of an 11-minute episode for you guys. Like, okay, I get it. One of the writers put so much emphasis on Toronto in the finale, and yet they put so much more emphasis on New York City than in Toronto. Like, guys, no shit, I have seen the finale, and it does feature Toronto, but it doesn't feature Toronto as much as it features New York City.
Yes, my old stomping ground.
I was not expecting him. I was not expecting Oswald to go, oh, my old stomping ground. That's like me walking into New Jersey where I was born and looking at it and going, Mom, look, there's my old stomping ground. She's like, yeah, that's the house where you were born. I literally gave birth to you in the bathtub.
I used to work in New York City back when I was a library and museum person for the Museum of Natural.
Alright, I get it!
Thank you, Oswald, because we didn't already get like 5 million episodes explaining that. Alright, you know, okay, kids may be dulled down due to all the technology, but let me tell you something. Kids are fucking intelligent. There are some intelligent-ass kids out there. Child prodigies, kids that will tell you you're fat without any connotations.
Kids aren't that stupid, although they're stupid, but they're not that stupid.
So, I'm kind of an expert.
Okay, let me just remind you guys. He spent the entirety of Sample of New York in the kitchen of the New York City Misso's headquarters. He barely went outside.
Perfect! Then you will not mind accompanying me on my brave search for oddness. Did I say I was an expert?
She's just like, alright, I'm going to New York City to look for, to New York City. Oswald's like, yes! Trip to New York City, I'm all in. And then Orla states the reason behind it. She's gonna go look for odd stuff to solve. And immediately he nopes the fuck right out of there. He's like, I'm staying inside, thank you.
I'm really more of an enthusiast.
Help me!
Alright, there's a big difference between expert and enthusiast.
Nonsense! You and I shall take ye oddballs to the streets of New York.
Look how fucking terrified he is! And Orla's just like, she's gonna have him on a leash, just dragging his ass out the van and into New York. That's a level of terrified you rarely see on Oswald, even though he's an Oscar type. Oscar didn't even get that terrified, and I know.
To solve the most thrilling, the most dangerous, the oddest.
Orla, you're scaring the kid, for God's sake. I get it, you're like 500 years old. But did they not have common courtesy 500 years ago?
Problems they have ever seen!
Extreme close-up! Whoa!
Okay, we didn't need this close-up of Orla's face. Imagine if this were 3D. Please don't make this 3D. For God's sakes. Do you know how many little kids would be scared by wearing 3D glasses and having this face of Orla pop out at them?
But first, a word from our sponsor. OddTube is brought to you by Coding.
Okay, I didn't want to pause here, but let me just say, this is some heavy foreshadowing for an upcoming episode, huh? We're doing this now? We're doing foreshadowing for upcoming... Alright.
A code is a set of instructions that tells a computer what to do. Like, if you need your tour bot to move forward 3 squares.
Is that a fucking Roomba? Is that a fucking Roomba? That's not a fucking toy. That's a fucking Roomba. Get the fuck out of here. This is a Roomba, and I refuse to believe otherwise.
clean up some popcorn, just use 1 forward direction block and 3 number blocks.
That's not how Roombas work. Alright, I know, I'm being nitpicky. Shut up, I want to explain something. I don't even have a Roomba, and even I know that this is not how they work. Okay, they don't need coding. You literally just push the power button, and it zooms all around your house, and every time it hits a corner, it moves. You don't need to code the damn thing. It just does what it wants.
Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just takes what it wants.
To better cement the foreshadowing, you could have used like an actual robot. And I'm not going to go into any more details than that, so y'all can shut up.
Hey there, ye oddballs! Behold, that giant green...
This is going to retcon Sample of New York, isn't it? Stephanie, my god. You know, do you writers ever have meetings in the writer's room, or are you like freelance now? Did you go freelance because of COVID? Did you ever have like a Zoom meeting? Like in the writer's room where you just sit down and discuss ideas? Actually, no, don't answer that. That was in 2019 when COVID didn't exist yet. Okay, never mind. Alright, look, as long as we don't get any more, like, history lessons like we did in Sample of New York, then I think I'm fine. I'm not gonna take this retcon of Sample of New York lightly.
Shaking it up!
Sinking it up or shaking it up? Yes, I am contractually obligated. Shut the fuck up. I am contractually obligated. What is she even attacking them with, Orla? She's literally standing. She literally has a torch in her hand and a book under her arm. She's not attacking anything.
Oh, wait! That's not a giant woman.
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna be is someone who gets to see a giant woman.
There's so many things that are ripe for references, and every single time they just slip out of the writer's hands and they just disregard it.
Oh, that explains why she is able to hold her arm up for so long.
No, this is going to retcon Sample of New York, and I'm already getting mad. I can feel my blood pressure rising.
Hark! A shaped villain has twisted this innocent bread into an odd shape.
I fucking hate this. I don't give two fucking shits if this was written before Sample of New York. It probably was. But the fact of the matter is, this still retcons it. Is this like B-roll footage they shot for Sample of New York and they had to use it somehow, so they just plopped Orla in it for an OddTube episode? Is this what this is? Sample of New York B-roll footage?
Oh, no, that's just a pretzel. You can buy them from pretzel stands all over town. And they're delicious. Program? I see. Another false alarm.
Fuck you, Stephanie. My god, how? In God's name. I gotta say, you are usually a hit, but this one was a swing and a miss.
There is much more oddness to find in New York City. Like this!
Wow, look at all that product placement. Remember when they used to have schmummers covering up every single real-life product placement? Now they just don't even care anymore.
The city has been taken over by giant television screens! Orla, this is Times Square. These screens are supposed to be there a bit much.
Okay, I have to agree with Oswald's, like, grating-ass tone. Come on, Orla. Alright, granted Orla didn't go to Times Square, so can I be done with this? Can I get paid for this yet?
But what about those?
What is with the zooming effect? Alright, look, once again, there is an element, and then there's reusing an element. You guys are reusing this so much, it's starting to wear out its welcome a little bit. Actually, I might be hypocritical, because I use the explosion meme a lot.
They've returned yellow by a color villain. Oh, no, those are just...
I even asked in that episode, how does Orla know what a taxi is? How does Agent Orla know how to call a taxi if she doesn't know what they are? I'm losing brain cells, guys.
Yellow cabs are everywhere in New York.
Nice call to down the tubes and then make a taxi service. We all know it's ride sharing. Shut the fuck up.
I suppose there's less oddness in New York City than I thought.
Yeah, Orla, you may be a little bit surprised about what you find in New York City. There is some wild-ass shit happening. Yeah, no, this is a bullshit lie. Take it from someone who grew up in New Jersey. There is a lot of shit that happens in New York that would be considered odd or even downright repulsive by anyone's standards.
Just a bunch of interesting landmarks and this totally normal floating head in Central Park.
Make it stop! Oh, make it stop!
This really is a sample of New York 2 Electric Boogaloo if they got Mark D'Angelo's back in here. I don't care if he's the showrunner. He was fine in Sample of New York. You don't need to bring him back for the sequel. I have so much rage right now. You guys don't even know.
Actually, Orla, I don't think that floating head is normal. You mean we have finally found Oddness in New York City? Fear not, fair sir. The Odd Squad mobile unit is here to restore the rest of your body.
Whoa! Thanks, Odd Squad. But I actually have a way bigger problem. Do you know how to get to the Metropolitan Museum?
If Mark made like a self-reference to the world of the show, I was probably gonna fall off the bed and throw my pillow again and cry. You know, like I did for the finale reaction video. I threw my pillow and I had to get away from the computer and I had to scream and cry for a few seconds because after the reveal and it was too much.
I believe I can help with that.
Ooh.
I knew my New York expertise would come in handy. Yes! Thank you for joining us in New York City on our hunt for Oddness. To see more pictures from...
But he didn't even tell him where the Metropolitan Museum of Art was.
Until next time, keep on keeping odd.
Why?
Yep, it is Mark D'Angelis, and I've lost all hope for humanity. Alright, Stephanie, this was not one of your hits. I will tell you that much. So this was Oddness in New York City. I think that's the name of the video. I didn't bother to check beforehand. Yeah, this is basically like Sample of New York 2 Electric Boogaloo, aka the sequel. We didn't really need it or ask for, but we got anyway. Overly long name, I know. Take a minute to digest that. This basically like had Sample of New York scaled back for Orla and made her seem stupid again. Like, there's this common trope called the idiot ball, where if you hold the ball, you get a moment of idiocy. This is basically Orla clutching that entire ball, shoving it down her throat, and having it stay there. And then she throws it back up after the video is over. I didn't really like it that much. It just seemed like a whole bunch of B-roll footage that they shot that they wanted to throw in, and so they decided to repurpose it into an OddTube episode. I don't really care if it was made before Sample of New York. The release of this is so poorly timed. Like, I mean, you probably could release this before Sample of New York ever even aired, but probably, I just realized that it's probably because of COVID, because COVID was pushed this OddTube thing back to the summer. I didn't really like either way, though. It just seemed like B-roll footage from Sample of New York. An okay episode with incredibly poor timing. If Sample of New York aired after this, then I wouldn't mind it, but since it aired before it, it's kind of out of order. And I don't really like it that much. Yeah, so, I mean, if you guys want to see more of New York, I mean, that's entirely up to you. This is probably a good video if you want to see more of New York. I guess I'll see you guys for the next one. I think we're only 2 episodes away from the finale if the sinking ship catalog's any indication, so we shall see what is going to happen. Thanks, guys, for watching. Bye.